Assalamu alaikum everyone, my name is Rahman Zeb, and in this video I will show you how to create a web page like this one using WordPress built-in WP blocks editor. I won't be using third-party page builders like Elementor or DB page builders. Okay, before we get started, make sure you have this plugin called Cadence Blocks installed on your WordPress installation, as it will add some super nice features on top of what you already have with the WP blocks editor. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is to copy this hero image area. Okay, I will click on the plus icon and then I will click on the row layout. I want it to be full width and a single column layout. I will click on this. Oh, sorry, I will add the background first. So I'll select the image. Okay, now I will simply copy and paste the text. I will click on paragraph for now and paste. Okay, I haven't copied it yet, so I will copy the text first and then I will paste it. Okay, I don't want it to be a heading and I want it to be a paragraph instead. And I want it to be a line center. Okay, I don't want it to be H1 and I want it to be H2. I will transform it to advanced heading and align it to center as well. Okay, now I can change the font and things like that from here, but I guess it would be better I add the button first. So what I'm going to do is add a button beneath it. I will click on the advanced button and I will type in read more, and I can link to an external source like https:// my website, which is rahmanzeb.com, or I can link it to an internal page or another web page on the WordPress. Okay, I will set the text color to plain white and I will set the border width to 0 because I don't want a border at all, and I will set the border radius to 0 as well to get rid of the border. Okay, now I want to change the background of the button, so I will click on the background color, but I don't know the code for the color, so I will copy it by using a nice extension called Color Zeta on Chrome. I can hover my mouse over the button, it will show me the code, the hex code and the RGB code, or I can simply click on the button and it will copy the code to the clipboard. I will simply paste it here, and this is exactly the color that I want. Okay, now I would like to adjust the width by clicking on the button width fixed, and I want it to be 150 pixels to be exact. Okay, now I would like to click on the row layout and then set the inner content width to be 740 pixels. I don't want it to be wider than that to match the look of the web page that we are copying. Okay, I want the heading to be plain white and I would like to make it bold. Okay, now I would like to remove the extra spacing between the header and the paragraph at the top by setting the margin top of the heading to 0. And now I'm going to select the text and setting the line height to 0. Okay, now it's looking better. Now I'll set the paragraph color to plain white. Okay, now I'm going to adjust the height by clicking on the row layout and then just clicking on the structure settings, and make sure you click on this VH before anything else. Make sure you select VH and then type 100. I want it to be 100 height of the viewport. I will vertically align everything to the middle and I'll click on update. Now let's see how it looks by right clicking on it and opening new tab. Okay, it's looking great, except the background is lighter and it's make quite hard for the end user to see the text. So I'm going to adjust that by clicking on the row layout and then add a background overlay color. I can add any color by dragging the circle. I guess it's looking much better than before. So I will simply click on update. Okay, you can adjust the overlay opacity by increasing or decreasing the number. I guess I'm okay with 30, but you can make it whatever you want. I think 30 is fine. So I will click on update and let's see how it looks. Okay, it's looking much better than it was before. Okay, now I am going to create the info boxes section area, and I will create a new row layout. I want it to be full width and I want it to be 3 equal columns, so I will select this one. Okay, I will add a block and select the info box. Okay, now the first thing I am going to do here is to change the icon by going to the media settings and click on this drop down. I will select this home icon. Okay, now I will change the title to something like residential designs. Okay, I forgot to change the color of this icon, so I will do it now by going to this icon color section and give it a hex code of FECE3E, which is the code that I remember. Okay, now I am going to change the font size. I want it to be H4 and the size should be 24 pixels to be exact. Okay, the last thing that I am going to do is to add a learn more or read more link at the bottom, and I will do it by going to this learn more settings and click on this toggle button to turn on the learn more link. I will also change its color to FECE3. This is the code that I remember. Okay, now I have made it exactly like the web page that we are copying, so I will duplicate it and move it to the next column. Okay, now I will just change the icon. I will change it to a briefcase because briefcase is something that is related to the office, and I will change the title to office designs. Okay, now I will duplicate it again and move it to the last column. Okay, now I will change the title to residential commercial designs, not residential. And I will change the color to something like a commercial building, so I will type in building and here's the icon that I want. Okay, now we have successfully created some 3 nice looking info boxes, but now I want it to move to the top, so I will select the row layout and I will come here to this padding and margin section and set the margin top to negative 125 pixels to move it a little upwards. Okay, let's see how it looks, and it looks great. This is exactly what I want it to be. Okay, now I will add the about us section, and this is the layout that we are going to copy. So I will click on this plus icon and add a new row layout, and fortunately I will have the layout that I want, so I will select this one. Okay, I want it to be wide width, and I will add the heading first, so I will click on the advanced heading and I will tap about us. I want the heading color to be plain black, which it already is, but I want it to be in H3 heading, and I will remove the top margin by setting the top margin to 0. I will add an info box, and I don't like this layout, so I will change the layout to this one because I want the icon to be on the left. I would like to get rid of the border around the container because I don't want any border around the container, so I will set the border radius and border size to 0. I will remove the container padding too because I don't need that. And I want the icon size to be 64 pixels exact. I don't want an border around my icon, so I will set that to 0. And I will set the right margin to 10 pixels because I want 10 pixels margin to the right of the icon, and I will vertically align my icon to the top. Okay, now let's move to the title settings. I want the title to be in H4 and 30 pixels should be the font size. Okay, let's move to text settings, and I want the text font size to be 14 pixels. Okay, let's change the icon. I will select something like a word because I need an award badge, so I guess this one would look much better. Let's change the title to quality, and let's click on the update and let's see how it looks. Okay, it's looking good. Now let's duplicate it. Okay, let's change the title color to plain black. Okay, now let's duplicate it and let's change the title to quickness, and the icon for the quickness should be something like a truck with a speedy truck. Actually, we do not have much to choose from, so we will simply go with a simple truck. I will select this truck because okay, the first, let's see this one, it's not looking good, so I will just change it to the second one. This one looks better. Okay, now let's duplicate it, and we will call the last one results, just like the theme we are copying. And let's change the icon to something that of a chart. So I want this chart that indicates progress. Okay, I'll click on the update and let's see how it looks. It's looking perfect. Okay, now let's add the two images at the right. For that I am okay, now let's change the icon colors first. Sorry, FECE3 should be the code, and I will do the exact same for the rest of the two icons. Okay, now we are done. Let's see, and it now matches the look of the page we are just copying. Now let's add the background image, so don't click on this plus icon, just click below it to select the section directly. Now click on the container style settings and add a background image. Okay, now add a spacer by clicking on the plus icon at the top of the image we just added and set its height to 450 pixels. Now click on this plus icon and add a spacer first and give it the same 450 pixels height. Now select the section from the bottom, and now click on the container style settings and add a background image just like the first one. Click select. Okay, we can change the border, the background position by dragging the circle to a point where we think it's okay. Now let's see how it looks. It's looking great. Okay, now we will add this section with 3 images. For this, I'm going to create a new row layout. I want it to be 3 column. I want it full width, and I will add a spacer and give it a height of 400 pixels for now. Okay, now I will select the section from the bottom and give it a background image. Okay, now I will do the same for the next column. I will add a space and give it a height of 400 pixels just like the last one, and also upload a background image. And I will do the same for the last one. I will add a 400 pixels taller spacer and click on the section to add the background image. Okay, now I will select the row layout and I don't want any spacing, so I will set the gutter to no gutter, gutter spacing to no gutter, and let's see how it looks. It's looking great except the spacing on the right and the left. I don't want any paddings. So what am I gonna do is go back to the page editor and I will click on the padding and margin, and I will set the right and left to 0 to remove the padding on the right and the left. Okay, I will click on update and let's see how it looks. Okay, now it's looking great except the height, which is a little bit smaller than the web page that we are just copying. So I will increase it, the spacer height from 400 to 500 for all of the images, and let's see how it looks. Okay, now it's looking great. Okay, now we will add the next section, which is the team member section, or we can use it for the testimonials too. So for this, I am going to create a new row layout. I will click on this plus icon and select a new row layout. I want it to be dual column. I want 2 columns and I want it to be wide width. I will click on the plus and I will add a group because I want it to be in a group. So later on I can easily duplicate it to the next column. I will select an image and I will upload an image. Okay, I want it to be a perfect circle, so I will select on the rounded and I will then click on the crop icon, and then from the aspect ratio I will select square. I will click on apply, but it's way too bigger than what I need, so I will make it 175 into 175 pixels. I will align it to center and I will add a paragraph right after the image. Okay, it's not inside the group just like the image, but what I have to do is to drag it upwards. But for first I will just copy and paste the text, and once I'm done I will drag it right below the image to put it inside the group. Okay, now it's inside the group, as you can see it from the bottom breadcrumb. Okay, I will align it to center and I will copy the last piece of the text, which is the person name and the job title. Okay, I will add a heading, I guess. I will add it as a heading. I will paste it and I will transform it to advanced heading, and I don't want it to be H2, instead I want it to be H5. Okay, I will align it to center, and I don't want the design or the job title to be bold, so I just can't apply it on a single line. So what I'm going to do is just cut the job title and paste it inside a paragraph. Okay, I will add a new paragraph and paste the job title there. Okay, now it's looking normal. Okay, we'll align it to center, and I will remove the extra spacing by clicking on the header and then space settings and set the bottom margin to 0. And for the paragraph I will set the line height to 0. This will make it closer to each other. Okay, now I will move the person name or the header and the job title inside the group by dragging it inside the group. Now since all of them are inside a group, I will click on the group to select it and then duplicate it so I can easily move it to the next column. Oops, I will Command Z to undo it. Okay, now we are going to change the image only. I will click on the replace. I will select the other image. Okay, I will click on this crop icon and then click on the aspect ratio, and I want it to be square. Yes, I want it to be square. Before I click on the apply, I will simply give it a width of 175 pixels and a height of 175 pixels, and then click on apply, and it's just like the other image. I will click on the update and let's see how it looks. Okay, it's looking good except the spacing, extra spacing. So what I'm going to do is to remove it by clicking on the heading, space settings. Okay, I will just remove slightly decreased line height, or I'll make it 10 pixels. Yeah, I will do the same for the other heading. I will just type 10 directly. Okay, now it's looking good. This is exactly what I want it to be. Now we will add the next section, which is this background with some text and a button on the top. Okay, for this I am going to create a new row layout, and I want it to be a single column. First I will make it full width and then select a single column. I will upload a background image, and I will add a paragraph. First I have to copy the text. I will select a paragraph and simply paste the text, and it will automatically detect the heading and make it a heading. Okay, I will transform the heading to advanced heading, and I will align it center. I will make it plain white, and I will make it bold. Okay, I will select the text and align it to center just like the heading, and I want it plain white just like the heading, so I will click on the color and make it plain white. I will add the button. For that I'm going to type button in the search, and I will click on advanced button. Okay, now let's type send, or we can call it whatever we want because this is our web page, our website. So I will type learn more, and I will change the button text color to plain white and change the background color to FECE3E. This is the yellow code or the orange color code that I want. Okay, You can also change the button hover color, but I will leave it as it is for now. Okay, this is looking good. What I'm going to do is remove the bottom margin from the heading to make it closer to the paragraph, and I will add some extra margin at the top of the button to make it to increase the spacing between the button and the paragraph. I guess 25 would be fine. I'll make the text italic, and I will click on the row layout, and I want the inner content width to be something. Let's check 740. Still not good. I guess 680 would be better. Okay, I will click on update and let's see how it looks. Okay, it's looking fine, but we have to make the text obvious by adding a background overlay color. I will click on the row layout to select it, and then I will click on the background overlay settings and add an overlay color. I will drag the circle and select a color. I guess this one is fine. Okay, for the button, let's get rid of the border. I will set the border width to 0. And I don't want the border radius at all, so I will set that to 0 as well. Let's see how it looks now. Okay, I need to align it to the middle of the container. I guess I have to add some extra padding to achieve that look. Okay, I'll add a bottom margin. I'll make it 55. I guess 75 is much better. Let's see how it looks now. It's looking much better than before. Okay, I don't want the text to be bold. Let's see how it looks now. Now it's a little thinner than what I want. I want it to be actually medium. I want the font weight to be 500 or medium bold. I don't want it to be bold. Well, it's a pity we do not have such settings. Now we will add the next section, which is the latest post section, and it displays my recent or the last 3 posts, blog posts. Okay, for that I'm going to create a new row layout, and for that let's leave this for now and add a paragraph to paste the text that I have copied from the web page that we are copying. I will paste the text and I will align the paragraph to center and make it italic. I will transform the heading to advanced heading and align it to center. Okay, for in the space settings I will set the margin bottom to 0. And let's change the line height and see how it looks. Okay, it's terrible. Let's get rid of the line height. I will only. Okay, I will update it and let's see how it looks. It's looking fine. Okay, I'm going to add a new row layout, and I want it to be single column and white width. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. White width it should be. Okay, now I am going to add the posts, and it will display my recent posts. It's set to 6, and I will make it 3. You can set it to any number of posts that you want to display on the page. Okay, now let's get rid of the extra things. We only need a simple image, a heading, and an excerpt. So we will get rid of the category by disabling it, and we will do exactly for the meta settings and the learn more button or the read more button. Okay, now we will move to the title size section. I want the title to be an H4 and 30 pixels should be the font size. Okay, let's save it. I will save it by clicking on update and let's see how it looks. Well, it's looking good, except that extra spacing at the top. We don't have much spacing on the web page that we are copying, so we can decrease the spacing by removing the top margin from the heading by setting the top margin to 0. Okay, now I will click on update and it will look good now. Yes, it's looking amazing. Okay, I will create this section which is a yellow background with some logos on the top. So I will create a new row layout just like the other sections. Okay, my laptop is hanging. I will select a single column and I want it to be full width, not wide width. Sorry, full width. I want it to be full width. I want the background color to be FECE3E. This is exactly the color that I have used throughout the site for some headings and icons. Okay, now I will click on the row layout and I will increase the columns from 1 to 5. Now I will add image on each column. I have already uploaded the images, so I will simply select them and I will do exactly the same on each column. I will upload image on every column. Okay, select. Okay, now I will upload the final image. Okay, now I will align it vertically to middle. Okay, let's separate and see how it looks. Okay, it's looking good, but I need some extra spacing between the logos. I want the logos to be a bit smaller, so I can reduce the size of the images by increasing the gutter size. So I will select row layout and from the column gutter I will set it to widest of 8 pixels, which is, and then I will set the inner content width to 1000 pixels. I will click on update and it will do the trick for us. Well, you can enhance its look by adding some extra padding at the top, but I will leave that to you. So you can play with it and make it exactly the way you want it to be. Okay, now we will create the next section, which is this section which has only a background image and nothing else. So I'm going to create a new row layout. I want it to be a single column and full width. I will upload the background image first. I will select the image. And now I'm going to add a spacer to give it some height. I'll make it 200 pixels dollar. I guess it's too much, so I will make it 150. I will select the row layout and I will just change the background position. Well, you can easily change the background position by moving the circle around the image. Okay, it's looking fine, except it's a little shorter than the web page that we are just copying, so I will make it 200 pixels taller. Okay, it's looking good now, except the that man walking, it's still below that yellow stripe, so I can move it upward by adjusting the background position by dragging the circle around. But actually it was to show you how you can easily change the background position, so I guess you got the idea, and now it's your time to play with it and make it exactly the way you want it. So I will move to the next section, which is this simple section which has only two columns and some simple text. Okay, I will just create a new row layout. I want it to be a dual column. I will simply copy the text and I will paste it here. Okay, there I will make align it center and I will transform it to advanced heading. I'm using advanced heading a lot because it gives me a lot of power. I can easily change font weight, etc, etc. I mean, it's quite easy for me to use it. I can easily change the padding margins, etc. Now there's a lot of spacing between the paragraphs, so what I'm going to do is I will reduce the line height. Let's see if it works or not. No, it's not working. It's terrible. Now I have to copy it copy each line manually and paste it after the first paragraph by holding shift and then press enter. When you hold shift and then press enter, actually it moves to the next line and it will not create the new paragraph automatically. So keep shift and then press enter it and it will work. Now I simply need to align it to center. And now I am going to copy the next piece of text and paste it. Okay, I will paste it here and let's transform the heading to advanced heading first, or I guess even a simple heading will work here because I don't need to change it. I don't need to change the paddings, margins, etc. So I will use a simple heading this time and let's see if it works. Yeah, it's looking fine, except the width is not fine, so I'm going to change it. I will select the row layout and I will make it wide width. I will align the heading and the text to center and I will update and I hope it will be fine. And yes, it is. We will now add the final section, which is a footer button with some credits. Okay, I'll make it a full width row layout and I want it to be a single column, and I will just write something like template created with love by Rahman Zaib. I will center align it and I will select the row layout and make it, and I will give it a background color of plain white. Okay, I will select the text and make the color plain white. I will update and let's see how it looks. Okay, so this is everything. We have finally created a web page that is looking great. and it's something very similar to the web page that we were just copying, or without using any third-party page builders like Elementor and DB page builders, etc. We have created a nice looking page without the use of any third-party extension. Thanks for watching. Please like this video if you like it and subscribe for more videos like this.